ॐ शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुर्गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ श्रीगुरवे श्रीसत्यसाईनाथ श्रीपादुकां पूजयामि नमः। ॐ श्रीपरमगुरवे श्रीशिरडिसाईनाथ श्रीपादुकां पूजयामि नमः। ॐ श्रीपरमेष्ठिगुरवे दत्तात्रेयस्वामी श्रीपादुकां पूजयामि नमः। सद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। हरिः ॐ। घण्टाशूलहलानि शङ्खमुसले चक्रं धनुस्सायकं हस्ताब्जैर्दधतीं घनान्तविलसत् शीतांशुतुल्यप्रभां गौरीदेहसमुद्भवां त्रिजगतामाधार भूतां महापूर्वामत्र सरस्वती मनुभजे शुम्भादिदैत्यार्दिनीम्। ॐ नमश्चण्डिकायै नमो देव्यै महादेव्यै शिवायै सततं नमः। नमः प्रकृत्यै भद्रायै नियताः प्रणतास्मतां रौद्रायै नमो नित्यायै गौर्यै धात्र्यै नमो नमः। ज्योत्स्नायै चेन्दुरूपिण्यै सुखायै सततं नमः। कल्याण्यै प्रणतां वृद्ध्यै सिद्ध्यै कूर्म्यै नमो नमः। नैऋत्यै बुभृताल्लक्ष्म्यै शर्वाण्यै ते नमो नमः। दुर्गायै दुर्गपारायै सारायै सर्वकारिण्यै ख्यात्यै तथैव कृष्णायै धूम्रायै सततं नमः। अतिसौम्यातिरौद्रायै नतास्तस्यै नमो नमः। नमो जगत्प्रतिष्ठायै देव्यै कृत्यै नमो नमः। क्षितिरूपेण यात्कृत्स्नमेतद्व्याप्य स्थिता जगत् नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः। क्षितिरूपेण यात्कृत्स्नमेतद्व्याप्य स्थिता जगत् नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः। क्षितिरूपेण यात्कृत्स्नमेतद्व्याप्य स्थिता जगत् नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः। स्तुतासुरैः पूर्वमभीष्टसंश्रयात्तथा सुरेन्द्रेण दिनेषु सेविता करोतु सा नः शुभहेतुरीश्वरी शुभानि भद्राण्यभिहन्तु चापदक या साम्प्रतञ्चोद्धतदैत्यतापितैरस्माभिरीशा च सुरैर्नमस्यते या च स्मृता तत्क्षणमेव हन्ति नः सर्वापदो भक्तिविनम्रमूर्तिभिः। ऋषिरुवाच इत्युक्ता सा तदा देवी गम्भीरान्तस्मिता जगौ दुर्गा भगवती भद्रा ययेदन्धार्यते जगत्। देव्युवाच गुड मॉर्निंग, गुड आफ्टरनून, गुड इवनिंग, हरि ओम, शालोम, Sai Ram, Namaste. Yesterday we stopped at the place where the Duta Sugriva, commissioned by the Shumbha, approached the Devi, and he went to a very beautiful spot on the mountain where the Devi was and spoke to her in fine and sweet words. Slakshnam Madhuraya Gira, fine and sweet words. The messenger told the mother, O Devi, Shumbha is the lord of the Asuras He is the supreme sovereign of the three worlds, sent by him as a messenger. I have come here to your presence. Pay careful attention to what was said by him who has destroyed all the force of the Asuras and whose command can never be transgressed, even by the Devas. He wanted me to convey to you that all the three worlds are mine and all the Devas are obedient to me. We look upon you, O Devi, as the jewel of womankind in the world. You who are as such must come to me, since we are the enjoyers of all the best amongst all classes of objects. Take to me or to my powerful younger brother Nishumbha, Chanchala O lady with wavering glance, you are for sure, in truth, a jewel. Wealth and all the glory beyond comparison thou shalt get by accepting me. Think over this very carefully in your mind and become my wife. परमैश्वर्यमतुलं प्राप्स्यते मत्परिग्रहात् एतद्बुद्ध्या समालोच्य matparigrahataam vraja. Then the Rishi said, Durga, Bhagavati, Bhadra, Durga, Bhagavati, Bhadra, Devi, and that who keeps all the lokas together, Dharyate, Jagat, and that Devi listened to these words and Gambhira Antasmita Jagau. Jagau inside her, Antasmita inside her, she had smiled, not externally. Internally, she smiled at the innocence of this fellow. Antasmita Jagau. What a beautiful words. When you listen to somebody who is speaking in foolishness and innocence, you don't get angry at them. You feel actually amused and you get tickled by their innocence. Array, what kind of foolish words this fellow is speaking. Ityukta sa tada devi gambhirantasmita jagau Durga Bhagavati Bhadra Yayedan Dharyate Jagat. Devyuvacha
देव्युवाच देव्युवाच
सत्यमुक्तं त्वया मिथ्या किञ्चित्
सत्यमुक्तं त्वया नात्र मिथ्या किञ्चित् त्वयोदितम् सत्यमुक्तं त्वया नात्र मिथ्या किञ्चित् त्वयोदितम्
त्रैलोक्याधिपतिः शुम्भो निशुम्भश्चापि तादृशः
त्रैलोक्याधिपतिः शुम्भो निशुम्भश्चापि तादृशः त्रैलोक्याधिपतिः शुम्भो निशुम्भश्चापि तादृशः
सत्यमुक्तं त्वया नात्र मिथ्या किञ्चित् त्वयोदितं त्रैलोक्याधिपतिः त्रैलोक्याधिपतिः शुम्भो निशुम्भश्चापि तादृशः।
सत्यमुक्तं त्वया नात्र मिथ्या किञ्चित् त्वयोदितं त्रैलोक्याधिपतिः शुम्भो निशुम्भश्चापि तादृशः सत्यमुक्तं त्वया नात्र मिथ्या किञ्चित् त्वयोदितं त्रैलोक्याधिपतिः शुम्भो निशुम्भश्चापि तादृशः।
See, the mother is replying now. Satyamuktam tvaya. You have spoken the truth, and there is absolutely no mithya, falsehood in what you have uttered. Mithya na atra mithya kinchit tvayoditam. In what you said, there is absolutely nothing that is false. Indeed, Trailokyadhipati Shumbho. Shumbha is the ruler or the sovereign of all the three worlds. Nishumbha cha api tadrushaha. Likewise, Nishumbha as well. See, what did she do right now? This is the beauty of awareness. It never denies the fact. Huh? It never denies the fact. For a single split second, she did not even say, "Hey, what nonsense you are talking. I am the Devi of all the worlds. I am the queen of all the worlds." Nothing like that. Satyamuktan tvaya. Natra mithya kinchit tvayodita. There is nothing false in what you said. You spoke the absolute truth that he is the sovereign of all the three worlds, Shumbha, as well as Nishumbha with equivalent powers. However, kintvatra yat pratignatam mithya tat kriyate katham. However, in this matter, I have taken a firm oath and I can't take back my oath that I have taken. And out of my limited capabilities, alpa buddhi, with limited capability, I have taken a oath some time ago. श्रूयताम् अल्पबुद्धित्वात् प्रतिज्ञाया कृता पुरा किं त्वत्र यत् प्रतिज्ञातं मिथ्या तत्क्रियते कथम्. Because of my limited capabilities, alpabuddhi, limited intellect, means without thinking through carefully, pratignyaya krita pura, I have taken an oath some time back. How can I go back on my word and my oath? Kintvatra yat pratignatam
किं त्वत्र यत्प्रतिज्ञातं किं त्वत्र यत्प्रतिज्ञातं
mithya tatkriyate katham.
मिथ्या तत्क्रियते कथं मिथ्या तत्क्रियते कथं
श्रूयतामल्पबुद्धित्वात्
श्रूयतामल्पबुद्धित्वात् श्रूयतामल्पबुद्धित्वात्
प्रतिज्ञाया कृता पुरा
प्रतिज्ञाया कृता पुरा प्रतिज्ञाया कृता पुरा
किं त्वत्र यत् प्रतिज्ञातं मिथ्या तत्क्रियते कथं श्रूयतामल्पबुद्धित्वात् प्रतिज्ञाया कृता पुरा.
किं त्वत्र यत्प्रतिज्ञातं मिथ्या तत्क्रियते कथं श्रूयतामल्पबुद्धित्वात् प्रतिज्ञाया कृता पुरा किं त्वत्र यत्प्रतिज्ञातं मिथ्या तत्क्रियते कथम् श्रूयतामल्पबुद्धित्वात् प्रतिज्ञाया कृता पुरा
No need to split buddhitvat pratigna. That should be one word. Shruyatamalpa buddhitvat pratigna jakrita pura.
श्रूयतामल्पबुद्धित्वात् प्रतिज्ञाया कृता पुरा
Instead
श्रूय
of tvat, make the sandhi. श्रूयतामल्पबुद्धित्वात् प्रतिज्ञाया कृता पुरा.
श्रूयतामल्पबुद्धित्वात् प्रतिज्ञाया कृता पुरा श्रूयतामल्पबुद्धित्वात् प्रतिज्ञाया कृता पुरा
And that pratigna is that pratigna is yomam. That pratigna is that yo man jayati, yo man jayati sangrame. Whoever defeats me, whoever defeats me in the yuddha sangramam, yo me darpam vyapohati. Whoever takes away my arrogance in valor, yo me pratibalo loke. Whoever is pratibala, equivalent in strength in this world, same bharta bhavishyati. Only he is able to become my husband. My God, thank God, I was not told this. Imagine, if every woman has this condition, have taken an oath like this, 99% of the men will not be married. Impossible to defeat a woman in a war. Forget about not war like war, as you cannot even stand if they look properly closely at you. What is she saying now? This is the condition that she has put, and that is what I have taken the oath of. The one who can defeat me in the war, who can eliminate my darpa. Darpa means my prestige, my pride, and who is equivalent in strength in this world, only that person shall be my husband. यो माञ्जयति सङ्ग्रामे यो मे दर्पं व्यपोहति.
यो मां जयति सङ्ग्रामे यो मे दर्पं व्यपोहति यो मां जयति सङ्ग्रामे यो मे दर्पं व्यपोहति
यो मे प्रतिबलो लोके स मे भर्ता भविष्यति.
यो मे प्रतिबलो लोके स मे भर्ता भविष्यति यो मे प्रतिबलो लोके स मे भर्ता भविष्यति
यो माञ्जयति सङ्ग्रामे यो मे दर्पं व्यपोहति यो मे प्रतिबलो लोके स मे भर्ता भविष्यति.
यो मां जयति सङ्ग्रामे यो मे दर्पं व्यपोहति यो मे प्रतिबलो लोके स मे भर्ता भविष्यति यो मां जयति सङ्ग्रामे यो मे दर्पं व्यपोहति यो मे प्रतिबलो लोके स मे भर्ता भविष्यति
Then She said, Tada gacchatu Shumbhotra, Nishumbho va Mahabalaha. So let this Shumbha come here, or also the Nishumbha, the Mahabala, the one with great power. Manjitva kinchirenatra paning grinhatu me laghu. After defeating me, immediately let him take my hand. Panigrahanam. Paning grinhatu me laghu. Laghu. Manjitva kim chirenatra. There is absolutely no delay. There will be no delay. He can quickly take my hand in marriage after he has defeated me in the war. तदा गच्छतु शुम्भोऽत्र निशुम्भो वा महाबलः.
तदा गच्छतु शुम्भोऽत्र निशुम्भो वा महाबलः तदा गच्छतु शुम्भोऽत्र निशुम्भो वा महाबलः
मां जित्वा किञ्चिरेणात्र पाणिं गृह्णातु मे लघु.
मां जित्वा किञ्चिरेणात्र पाणिं गृह्णातु मे लघु मां जित्वा किञ्चिरेणात्र पाणिं गृह्णातु मे लघु
तदा गच्छतु शुम्भोऽत्र निशुम्भो वा महाबलः. मां जित्वा किञ्चिरेणात्र पाणिं गृह्णातु मे लघु.
तदा गच्छतु शुम्भोऽत्र निशुम्भो वा महाबलः मां जित्वा किञ्चिरेणात्र पाणिं गृह्णातु मे लघु तदा गच्छतु शुम्भोऽत्र निशुम्भो वा महाबलः मां जित्वा किञ्चिरेणात्र पाणिं गृह्णातु मे लघु.
Now you see the difference between this approach of the mother from the approach she has taken as Mahalakshmi. This is now Shuddha Sattva operating. Shuddha Sattva does not get into action immediately because it is extremely tactical and very much strategic and will not rush into action. That is one of the qualities of the Sattva Guna. And this is Shuddha Sattva because this approach is, she is very polite, she is extremely recognizing, acknowledging that the other people's strengths, and very much she is saying, I am willing to become, but with this condition. Duta Uvacha
दूत उवाच दूत उवाच
Avaliptasi Maivantvam Devi Bruhi Mamagrataha. Sugriva said, Devi, you are speaking with immense, you are in immense pride. Bruhi Mamagrataha. Avaliptasi Maivantvam Devi. Bruhi means speaking. Mamagrataha. Speaking like this in front of me. You should not speak like this in front of me. In the entire three worlds, not a single man is able to stand in front of Shumbha and Nishumbha. Trailokya Kaha, where in the three worlds, Pumam Stishthe the grey, a man that exists who will stand in front of शुम्भनिशुम्भयोग अवलिप्तासि मैवं त्वं देहि ओके अवलिप्तासि मैवं त्वं देहि ब्रूहि ममाग्रतः
अवलिप्तासि मैवं त्वं देवि ब्रूहि ममाग्रतः अवलिप्तासि मैवं त्वं देवि ब्रूहि ममाग्रतः
त्रैलोक्ये कः पुमांस्तिष्ठेदग्रे शुम्भनिशुम्भयोग
त्रैलोक्येकः पुमांस्तिष्ठेदग्रे शुम्भनिशुम्भयोः त्रैलोक्येकः पुमांस्तिष्ठेदग्रे शुम्भनिशुम्भयोः
अवलिप्तासि मैवं त्वं देवि ब्रूहि ममाग्रतः त्रैलोक्ये कः पुमांस्तिष्ठेदग्रे शुम्भनिशुम्भयोः
अवलिप्तासि मैवं त्वं देवि ब्रूहि ममाग्रतः त्रैलोक्येकः पुमांस्तिष्ठेदग्रे शुम्भनिशुम्भयोः अवलिप्तासि मैवं त्वं देवि ब्रूहि ममाग्रतः त्रैलोक्येकः पुमांस्तिष्ठेदग्रे शुम्भनिशुम्भयोः
अन्येषामपि दैत्यानां सर्वे देव न वै युधि तिष्ठन्ति सम्मुखे देवी किं पुनः स्त्रीत्वम् एकिका none of these devas sarve devana yudhi in the war can face forget Shumbha Nishubha cannot even face the other daityas anyesham api daityanam not even Shumbha Nishubha the other daityas these devas all the devas cannot face in a war tishthanti sammukhe devi किम पुनः स्त्री त्वमेकिका पुनः स्त्री त्वम एकिका how are you going to be in front of this Shumbha and Nishubha let alone kim punah stri you are a woman and that too a lonely woman ekika you just appear to be one woman here there is nothing else there she is the one sitting on the top of the hill you are a single woman forget about all these Shumbha and Nishubha. How are you going to face those daityas in front of which none of the devas in the war can stand before? अन्येषामपि दैत्यानां सर्वे देवानवै युधि
अन्येषामपि दैत्यानां सर्वे देवानवैयुधि अन्येषामपि दैत्यानां सर्वे देवानवैयुधि
तिष्ठन्ति सम्मुखे देवि किं पुनः स्त्रीत्वमेकिका
तिष्ठन्ति सम्मुखे देवि किं पुनः स्त्रीत्वमेकिका तिष्ठन्ति सम्मुखे देवि किं पुनः स्त्रीत्वमेकिका
अन्येषामपि दैत्यानां सर्वे देवानवै युधि तिष्ठन्ति सम्मुखे देवि किं पुनः स्त्रीत्वमेकिका
अन्येषामपि दैत्यानां सर्वे देवानवैयुधि तिष्ठन्ति सम्मुखे देवि किं पुनः स्त्रीत्वमेकिका अन्येषामपि दैत्यानां सर्वे देवानवैयुधि तिष्ठन्ति सम्मुखे देवि किं पुनः स्त्री त्वमेकिका।
इन्द्रादाद्य सकला देवाः तस्थुर्येषान्न संयुगे शुम्भादीनां कथं तेषां स्त्री प्रयास्यसि सम्मुखम्. Indra and all the other devas, Indradhyah, Indra and so on, and all the other devas, Tasthur Sanyuge, Shumbhadhinam, Tasthur Sanyuge, they cannot stand in front of Shumbha and so on in a battle against them. All the devas cannot stand. Kathantesham Stri Prayasyasi Sammukam. How is it possible that a woman like you can face them? Now you see the progress in this. It's not just casually speaking these words. Every slokam brings in a unique component. The first component is there is no man. The second component is forget Shumbha and Nishumbha. None of the devas can stand in front of all the other daityas. Not only that, Indra and all these Dikpalakas, they cannot even stand in front of these fellows. इन्द्राद्याः सकला देवास्तस्थुर्येषान्न संयुगे.
इन्द्राद्याः सकला देवास्तस्थुर्येषान्न संयुगे इन्द्राद्याः सकला देवास्तस्थुर्येषान्न संयुगे
शुम्भादीनां कथन्तेषां स्त्रीप्रयास्यसि सम्मुखम्.
शुम्भादीनां कथं तेषां स्त्रीप्रयास्यसि सम्मुखम् शुम्भादीनां कथं तेषां स्त्रीप्रयास्यसि सम्मुखम्
इन्द्राद्याः सकला देवास्तस्थुर्येषां न संयुगे शुम्भादीनां कथन्तेषां स्त्रीप्रयास्यसि सम्मुखम्.
इन्द्राद्याः सकला देवास्तस्थुर्येषान्न संयुगे शुम्भादीनां कथं तेषां स्त्रीप्रयास्यसि सम्मुखम् इन्द्राद्याः सकला देवास्तस्थुर्येषान्न संयुगे शुम्भादीनां कथं तेषां स्त्रीप्रयास्यसि सम्मुखम्
सत्वं गच्छ मयैवोक्ता मया evokta on my word itself. Take my word and satvangacha 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 start immediately and parshvam shumbha nishumbhayo be on the side of shumbha and nishubha keshakarshana nirdhuta gauravama gamishyasi. May you not be dragged by your hair and may it not hurt your dignity. May your dignity be lost. Gauravama gamishyasi. Keshakarshana nirdhota. Let it, may your pride be and gauravam, the dignity be not lost by getting pulled over by your hair. See, that is what is the percept of the power of the Shumbha and Nishumbha and to what extent they will take her to task. Satvangaccha गच्छमयैवोक्ता पार्श्वं शुम्भनिशुम्भयोः।
सा त्वं गच्छ मयैवोक्ता पार्श्वं शुम्भनिशुम्भयोः। सा त्वं गच्छ मयैवोक्ता पार्श्वं शुम्भनिशुम्भयोः।
केशाकर्षणनिर्धूतगौरवामा गमिष्यसि।
केशाकर्षणनिर्धूतगौरवामागमिष्यसि। केशाकर्षणनिर्धूतगौरवामागमिष्यसि।
सा त्वं गच्छ मयैवोक्ता पार्श्वं शुम्भनिशुम्भयोः। केशाकर्षणनिर्धूतगौरवामा गमिष्यसि।
सा त्वं गच्छ मयैवोक्ता पार्श्वं शुम्भनिशुम्भयोः। केशाकर्षणनिर्धूतगौरवामागमिष्यसि। सा त्वं गच्छ मयैवोक्ता पार्श्वं शुम्भनिशुम्भयोः। केशाकर्षणनिर्धूतगौरवामागमिष्यसि।
Then Devi replied again. Devi said, एवमेतत् बली शुम्भो निशुम्भः च अपि निशुम्भः चापि तादृशः. Oh, no, no, not this one, ma. You have to go down, please. Sairam, go up, go up. Different Devi Vacha, yes. Come down, come down. Why it's not strolling down? Strolling up, ma. You are going back. 127. Yes. No, no, no. एवमेतत् बली शुम्भो. 1 second. एवमेतत् बली शुम्भो. Okay. Yes. एवमेतत् बली शुम्भो निशुम्भश्चापि तादृशः. 128. Yes. किं करोमि प्रतिज्ञा मे यदनालोचिता पुरा. Here it is Sattvam Gaccha. There I was confused with here Sattvam, there it is Sattvam. Evam etat bali shumbho. Mother is saying now. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Shumbaha is Bali. He is very powerful. And so is Tadrishaha Nishumbhaschapi. They are both extremely powerful and heroic. What can I do? King Karomi. Pratigna me adanalochita pura. Without thinking through carefully, I have taken a oath already. So she is repeating her stand again. Evam devyuvacha.
देव्युवाच देव्युवाच
एवमेतद्बली शुम्भो एवमेतद्बली शुम्भो निशुम्भश्चापि तादृशः.
एवमेतद्बलिशुम्भो निशुम्भश्चापि तादृशः एवमेतद्बलिशुम्भो निशुम्भश्चापि तादृशः
किं करोमि प्रतिज्ञा मे यदनालोचिता पुरा.
किं करोमि प्रतिज्ञामि यदनालोचिता पुरा किं करोमि प्रतिज्ञामि यदनालोचिता पुरा
एवमेतद्बली शुम्भो निशुम्भश्चापि तादृशः. किं करोमि प्रतिज्ञा मे यदनालोचिता पुरा.
एवमेतद्बलिशुम्भो निशुम्भश्चापि निशुम्भश्चापि तादृशः किं करोमि प्रतिज्ञा मे यदनालोचिता पुरा एवमेतद्बली शुम्भो निशुम्भश्चापि तादृशः किं करोमि प्रतिज्ञा मे यदनालोचिता पुरा
Satvangacha. She is also repeating the same thing. Go back. Mayoktante. Convey my words. Tell these lords. Te yadetat sarvamadrutaha. Tell these Shumbha and Nishumbha carefully all of this, whatever I have said. Tada Chakshva Surendraya, and that Surendraya, Tada Chakshva Surendraya, convey all of this to these lords of these demons. Such a yuktam karot tatu, whatever they consider, such a yuktam karot tatu. Let them do whatever they feel whatever they feel appropriate, whatever they consider appropriate. Means what? Either leave her alone, and if they really want her, they should come and fight. How beautifully conveyed. Satvang gacchamayoktante yadetat sarvamadrutaha tada chakshva surendraya sacha yuktam karotu tat. Satvang gacchamayoktante yadetat sarvamadrutaha.
सत्त्वं गच्छ मयोक्तं ते यदेतत्सर्वमादृतः सत्त्वं गच्छ मयोक्तं ते यदेतत्सर्वमादृतः
तदा चक्ष्वासुरेन्द्राय स च युक्तं करोतु तत्.
तदा चक्ष्वासुरेन्द्राय स च युक्तं करोतु तत् तदा चक्ष्वासुरेन्द्राय स च युक्तं करोतु तत्
सत्त्वं गच्छमयोक्तन्ते यदेतत्सर्वमादृतः तदा चक्ष्वासुरेन्द्राय स च युक्तं करोतु तत्.
सत्त्वं गच्छ मयोक्तं ते यदेतत्सर्वमादृतः तदा चक्ष्वासुरेन्द्राय स च युक्तं करोतु तत् सत्त्वं गच्छ मयोक्तं ते यदेतत्सर्वमादृतः तदा चक्ष्वासुरेन्द्राय स च युक्तं करोतु तत्
स्वस्ति श्रीमार्कण्डेयपुराणे सावर्णिके मन्वन्तरे देवीमाहात्म्ये देव्यादूतसंवादो नाम पञ्चमोऽध्यायः. ॐ श्री जगदम्बार्पणमस्तु.
स्वस्ति श्रीमार्कण्डेयपुराणे सावर्णिके मन्वन्तरे देवी माहात्म्ये देव्यादूतसंवादो नाम पञ्चमोऽध्यायः स्वस्ति श्रीमार्कण्डेयपुराणे सावर्णिके मन्वन्तरे देवी माहात्म्ये देव्यादूतसंवादो नाम पञ्चमोऽध्यायः ॐ श्रीजगदम्बार्पणमस्तु.
As we conclude the fifth chapter in Markandeya Purana, Savarnika Manvantara, Devi Mahatmya, Devi Duta Samvada, the conversation between Devi and the Duta Sugriva, and this fifth chapter, all afforded Divine Mothers lotus feet. Now, this particular chapter is filled with so much of message, and this entire essence of this is one of the longest chapters, probably the longest chapter in Devi Mahatmyam. And of course, many mantras are with that Yadevi Sarvabhuteshu, 22 times 3. So almost 60% of them is the Aparajita Stuti. And that Aparajita Stotram combined with this preamble to the psyche of the Shumbha Nishubha associated with Chanda Munda and how they have sent the messenger to the Devi. All of this is highly spiritually significant, and the decryption of this has been happening over the last 2 to 3 weeks, where we have spent a lot of time contemplating on what Shumbha means, what Nishumbha means, and what Chanda means, what Munda means, why the mother has to manifest herself to begin with as Parvati and then becoming the Kaushiki and the Kali. What is the context of Chanda Munda telling these guys about all the objects that they have confiscated, the best in the world, thinking that the same is true for acquisition of the Shuddha Sattva itself, which is the most beautiful. What is the common theme here? Common theme is that first and foremost, our perception that a beautiful woman should belong to us, just like Ravana. Uh, so we were talking so much about the gunas, and in the gunas there is a spectrum of gunas. There is 100% tamasic, and then the tamas associated with rajas, and then there is the rajas, the pure rajas, then the rajas associated with sattva, and then the pure sattva. This is the transition we are seeing. And in the context of all of this, there is this awareness factor that calibrates. In the context of complete tamoguna, our identification is 100% only with indulgence in the context of body and the senses. Then a little bit of rajas associated with tamas is that the prana, the movement of the prana within, that actually is the sentient aspect in the insentient, gross as in body and senses. Am I making sense? Am I talking in English? Am I talking in English? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. That movement that makes the sentient, the insentient sentient is prana. Therefore, the rajas is associated with overactivity of the mind. And this identification with the overactive mind that is giving sentience to everything is what is where we stop at the buddhi level. Knowing the impermanence of that will take us to the detachment and the impermanence associated with the whole world, and that detachment and getting into this shunyata as the impermanence of the worldly objects beyond the body, the senses, the prana, the buddhi is where the Buddha went to. Buddhi, beyond buddhi is Buddha, but that Buddha stopped at shunyata, nothingness. But even that is Maya. You have to go beyond that nothingness to all fullness, and that is Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Nirmala Swarupinam. Nitya Shuddha Buddha, Mukta, Nirmala. These are the attributes of pure consciousness. And that is what this Kaushiki represents sitting on the top of this Himalaya. And that is not an object of acquisition. The fundamental flaw is that we think that spiritual knowledge is another bookish knowledge kind of the thing, and that if we read all these, memorize all these shlokas, chant them perfectly, etc., that we are enlightened. No, the only purpose of all of that is just purification of the thought. It won't go beyond that. Beyond that is what is the awareness of enlightenment, and that is the subject of everything, not the object of acquisition. Are we good? So, what is the mother's oath? Whoever is the guy that can defeat me, can hold my hand in marriage. So that means what? That she is an object to be acquired. So this thing about, uh, why, what is the context of her asking him to come and defeat? Defeat means that you are taking over something, and that taking over something is impossible for the subject of awareness as in enlightenment, and therefore the challenge is impossible to be done by anyone. The only way is to be that and not to acquire that. You understand, Sairam? Am I making sense at all? Okay, let me pause here. You're all looking blissed out, and I don't know, some people are blessed out, some people are blissed out. Yes, let's pause here. Any questions?
And no, that was my question I had put.
Okay. Let me look at the questions. Verse
Yeah.
118, Devi says, "You have spoken the truth, but that was not the absolute." No, no, she didn't say that. She didn't say that that was not the absolute truth. She said very clearly, she said, Satyamuktan tvaya na atra mithya kinchit tvayoditam. Mithya means falsehood or error. There is nothing of error, and you spoke the truth, is what she said.
Yeah,
Okay?
that's what I said. That was not the absolute truth. We kind of know this is just the time bound because they feel that they are the winners over all the three worlds. So uh, that's
No,
just
she's, yeah. At that point of time, this is what I'm saying, a spiritual person is not in a la la land. Okay? You acknowledge the situation as it is, and she is acknowledging the situation at that present moment. Trailokyadhipati Shumbho, Nishumbhaschapi tadrishaha. Equivalent is Nishumbha. Both of them, Shumbha and Nishumbha equivalent, are the Trailokya Adhipatis. And this is the truth. And there is nothing false in what you have said about it. That is the absolute meaning of that shloka. Okay? Satyamuktam tvaya. Na atra mithya kinchit tvayoditam. You have spoken the truth, and there is no falsehood in what you have uttered. What is that? Trailokyadhipati Shumbho Nishumbhaschapi tadrishaha. So she is not talking about future, past, present. She is only talking about the present, and in the present, that is the truth. And a spiritual person will never deny or decline the presence. You don't go to a la la land. You have to be present in the moment and speak from that point of view. And that is what she is doing beautifully. Yes? Is that clear? Okay. Then what you're saying is, why fight her in battle when she can win, when we can win her by love? What is that? Huh? Why? What is that? Yes, that is a true statement. But in the context of this story, that's not what we're talking about, right?
no, that was just a comment.
Ah, okay, okay. So I thought you were suggesting Shumbha go fall in love with her. Okay, so I thought you wanted me to send a text message to Shumbha. Swati Iyer says you should go fall in love with her. Don't fight with her. Now, this is another, the only way to win the grace of God is by pure, unsullied love. And that is 100% true statement. Verse 126 reminds me of Draupadi's incidents. Whenever a lady's hair is being dragged, the doom is near. Oh, okay. Yes, that is also true. Yes, that is a comment. Question. Okay. Okay, Sri Vidya Ramesh. All the devas are male forms. Any significance to this? All the demons are also males, ma.
But we do have some female demons too, like Shurpanaka and other people, right?
Oh, that is later on, no? Yeah, then there was equal rights. If man is God, why can't I be God? And if man is a demon, why can't I be a demon? Equal rights. Huh? Equal right fighting. Okay. Uh, demons coming in pairs. Madhu, Kaitava, Chanda, Munda, Shumba, Nishumba. Oh, any significance to this? Yes, there is a significance to this. Associated very closely with introvertism is extrovertism. They are one and the same but expressed in different ways. Two sides of the same coin. An introvert is as much egoistic as an extrovert. 100%. The people that self pity themselves, self pity them, that's not humility. Not humility. There are people that self pity themselves. Ayo, what can I do? I am simply this, I am that, I am that. I can't do any. This is self pity. That self pity is as much ego as the pride that one exhibits in arrogance. That is also ego. Both are equal ego. Chanda is extrovertic ego, Munda is introvertic ego. And similarly, Shumbha is the reflection, and Nishumbha is the mirror, and Shumbha and Nishumbha are always tightly associated with each other. Shumbha is Asmita, which is I, Nishumbha is mine. Uh, the I as in falsehood I, pseudo I. That pseudo I is always attached to mine. 100%. Yes, that is a beautiful question. And the who is the third pair? Madhu Kaitava. Yes, Madhu is introvertic. Tamas. Kaitava is extrovertic. Tamas, like an insect. Yes.
So Madhu Kaitaba also has this like and dislike, right? Like you have so much of attached love towards something and hatred towards something that also goes together. Like
Yes. Madhu is attached to something. Yes. Kaitava is dependent on something. Insect, parasitic.
I have a
Yes.
question on the storyline. So Devi, well, the Duta comes to Devi and actually insults her as a woman, right? Multiple times. Like, you cannot stand up against men, and I will drag you by your hair and take you, right? So there's a lot of physical and, emotional insult to the woman over here. But even then, Devi does not respond to those, and she only sticks to her, says that I have this vow that they should defeat me and only then I will marry them,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes.
um, so here in our context, right, like if we actually apply to our daily world, we would say that if someone insults you or talks down to you, we also represent the womanhood, and so we need to speak up, right? We have to correct people when they tell falsehoods about, or try to overpower us, or try to talk demeaningly to us. So I'm not sure how. So when you have self-awareness that you have all the power and you have all the thing, then you will not react so quickly. Like you said, Shuddha Sattva, you will take your time and you will respond in a very methodical way. But when we don't have that knowledge of the power, is when we react, right? Or is it okay to just watch as people talk demeaningly and not respond to it? There's
Yes,
a little bit of
very good,
confusion
very,
for me.
yes, very beautiful, very, very beautiful question. So let me summarize what, just very quickly, what sister is asking is, the Dut, the messenger has said, hey, you are just a single woman, you are a feeble person, no man can stand against them, no, not even them, the other asuras, they, none of the devas can stand in front of them. And after all, as a woman, what do you think of yourself? Don't lose your dignity by getting your hair, by getting you dragged by your hair. And that is what she's saying. Out of all of this stuff, what's the mother's reaction? Out of all of the stuff that he has said, and before that, he was saying how great they were, how best of everything they have, and therefore it is appropriate that she should become part of their best of everything, etc. She never ever denied anything that he said. That is what, now what Srividya's question is that an appropriate thing for a spiritual person to do? Do you just sit and listen and not react, or how does that work in real world? That's the question, right? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. When you are in Shuddha Sattva state of equipoised mind and intellect, which is untouched by, nothing can insult you, nothing can insult you, because you are none of what that other person is speaking. Therefore, why do you need to react? You only need to respond. There is a difference between react and respond. She has responded, she did not react. Oh, how dare you speak that you want to drag my bear? You idiot, come on, what are you? Then what happened? She has fallen to that awareness, and you never fall from your higher awareness. You are in that higher awareness, but you speak in the presence, but very factually, very objectively, you are responding to his thing, but you are not reacting to everything that is being accused of. And therefore, that is the beautiful saying of Swami, you don't have to oblige, but you can speak obligingly. That's the beautiful quotation of Swami. And if you look at the great leaders like Mahatmas, and there is only one that I know of called Mahatma Gandhi, there was never a reaction towards anything. There is always a response to everything. So, response and react, these two are different. Now, that is one point. The second point, who is she talking to? The guy who got the message, not the guy who, not the guy who sent the message. She's talking to a messenger. She's not talking directly to the other guy, right? So why do you shoot the messenger? You don't shoot the messenger. Like the popular saying, don't shoot the messenger. Messenger is a postman. That's it. He's giving a message, and everything that he's saying is actually factually correct. That these guys are such um, cutthroat that they will even they will drag you by your hair. Therefore, please keep your dignity. That's what he's saying. He's not saying he will drag her, that she will be dragged and that she will lose dignity. Yes? Are we, did you get what
Yeah.
you're looking? Yes.
Yeah. But that's
Now,
that makes.
I'll come to the second part of it. There is a beautiful parable of Sri Ramakrishna that was very appealing to me as a child when I first heard this from my grandfather, who was very much involved in the Ramakrishna mission, like an Anjaneya for Ramakrishna, Bhagavan Ramakrishna. He used to tell this parable of story that one time a sadhu was passing by on a street, and children were playing, and they were throwing stones at an ant hill, and a cobra which was in the ant hill got truly disturbed because they were throwing stones and all of this stuff. This cobra came out, and she hit, you know, uh, bit or hurt one of the boys. And then the sadhu rushes and saves the boy and tells this cobra, "How foolish you are to hurt this boy like this. Why did you hurt him like this? And if I'm not there, he would have been poisoned and dead. Don't hurt people ever after." That's what is the message he gave her. And then a few months passed by, and the same sadhu was walking on the street. The boys were taking the cobra and they were playing with it. They were making it a ball, throwing it into the air, and doing all kinds of things with it. It became a play toy for them. And this cobra went to this sadhu and said, "What did you do to my life? My body is hurting like crazy. These boys put their hand in my ant hill, pull me out, and swirl me, and all of that." And the sadhu very beautifully said, "I asked you not to hurt, but I did not say that you should not hiss. You should hiss, but not hurt." Yes. So the other side, I'm saying, there is hissing, there is hurting. In the context of many of the, don't accept bullying. Nobody should be bullied. Bullying is an offense that you should not tolerate. But do not get into the awareness of the bully. Be firm in your awareness. Hiss and take care of ourselves. Jai Sai Ram.
Sairam, I have a question.
Yes, Sai Ram.
So, how are you to understand Devi's statement that it was a, um, you know, the oath that she took is not thought through or whatever that she was saying? Because, definitely there's a meaning to that, why she
Yes,
said that. She was
yes.
just said that, I've taken an oath this way, and then, uh, but she added that it was not a, without thinking.
Okay. Okay. So question is, she could have simply said, "I have taken an oath, but I have not thought through this carefully." That's what she said. Yad analochitam pura. Not thinking through this carefully. What did she say? Alpa buddhi. Alpa shruyatam. Alpa buddhi tvat. Alpa buddhi tvat pratigna. Alpa buddhi means with limited intellect. Wow, this is. Thank you for asking this question. Very powerful question. Is the mother speaking in the context of with humility? Okay, if you look at this, then you kind of from a relative worldly point of view, what is she doing? She first said, "Yes, you are right, they are the most powerful people." Second, she said, "I took an oath without thinking through carefully or with a limited intellect." That means, what is she doing there? From a worldly point of view, what is she doing? "Oh, I'm not sure if I should have done this, but I have taken an oath anyway, knowingly or unknowingly, correctly or incorrectly." By doing that, what are you doing to the other person that came as the messenger? What are you conveying? From a relative world, let's not talk about spirituality. The spiritual part, I will come to that later. So, I heard from a Swamiji a very beautiful thing. Please don't take offensively, ladies. A person who makes a mistake uh, and accepts a mistake is honest. A person who is not sure he makes a mistake but says he made a mistake is wise. He's not sure, but therefore he's saying, "Yeah, maybe it is a mistake." That's a wise person. A person who never makes a mistake but still says he made a mistake is called husband. Okay, this is not my joke. I heard it from a Swamiji. So now let's leave the husband part aside. In the context of what this spiritual awareness is doing is you give room and space and scope for the other person, that is real character, in displaying, Array, maybe I should not have taken this oath, but I have taken this oath. I cannot go back. Maybe it was a mistake, but I cannot go back. Maybe non-violence for the country as a path of freedom is maybe a mistake, because it has the British have killed so many people, they have atrociously massacred and violence and all of that, but I cannot go back, because that is the supreme value, that is the supreme truth. You understand, Sairama? Relatively, what is she doing? You are very great. Now let's play it out. Somebody comes to you and say, this person has sent this message. Yes, yes, they're very great people, but I cannot oblige, because I have taken this path of values already. Maybe it's a mistake, but I want to stick on my path. How is that playing out in a relative world? How is that playing out in a relative world? How beautifully a real life lesson the mother is teaching in that incident, that how you should actually approach someone that wants to take over you, bully you, and wants to win over you, and wants to confiscate you as an object of best in class as a woman. How atrocious that is. So if somebody came to India, a woman, and you were told that, what would is, you get enraged? Are you stupid? Do you think I am an object of enjoyment like any other object in your court? Go tell your king to take a hike. I'm going to come and kill that fellow. What nonsense is he talking? This is an approach. But did she do any of that stuff? But yet, did she stray away from the path of truth, value, love, non-violence? What a life lesson that this particular incident is teaching us. Just contemplate on it. Yes? Hello, Sairamam. Prabhakara. Are you blissed out? సమాధిలోకి వెళ్ళవాకు ఆన్సర్ చెప్పు.
No, no, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Huh?
yeah. And think through
So
that.
did so she didn't speak any untruth, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
In fact, by acknowledging that Shumbha and Nishumba are the sovereignties of all the three worlds, and that they are very powerful, and that they want to act. Yeah. Somebody's upset or what? Okay. uh, and that they want to, and that she has to be part of the everything that she is. Very beautiful.
Yes.
It's an amazing way of expression of how you deal with a conflicting situation where somebody wants to bully you, win over you, take over you, all of that stuff, all that conflict that you face. How do you deal with that conflict? That is the beauty of demonstration in this chapter. Practical lesson. Now, spirituality, let's talk about spirituality. In truth, that which is the supreme consciousness is not an object of confiscation. Therefore, if they thought that it is with the lower awareness that they are thinking that they have to acquire this spiritual being. Spiritual people can never be acquired by money, by force, by anything. Nothing can touch the spiritual people who live a pure life of love and service. And Bhagwan is a supreme example right in front of our eyes. No matter what the newspapers wrote, no matter what the media has tried to do to him, no matter how many journalists came and tried to poke him, no matter what they did, try to blame him, blemish him, untouchable, purity from tip to toe, Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba, an example of that has lived the values, and in never any of these instances had he lashed out against them, has criticized them, has done anything to them, but kept his dignity by not going to their level in answering them. Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yes. Yes.
And that is the greatness of his organization, too. That even they did not get into the mud and try to answer all these, journalists that were trying to throw mud at Bhagavan's sanctity and character. Even they did not, because that's trained. That you don't have to really react to everything that if it doesn't belong to you. Swami was very clear about that. He said, "Why do I need to get elated or delated? Because whatever they're talking about me is not true. So why should I
Mm.
react? Why should I react?" Yes, Sai Ram. Okay,
Sa-
now that's my passionate Satya Sai. Okay, Sai Ram.
Mm.
Satish Damraju is asking. What is the Sudhakar is asking? Pruthak Pruthak means again and again, sir. Again and again. Pruthak Pruthak means again and again. So that is the question, Sudhakar. What is Sairam? Is Kaushiki's Pratigna real or just a way to get Shumbha to war? Ah, is there Sattvaguna aspect here? Oh, very good, Rare. How do I know it is real? How do I know it is real? That's right. Where is మన సతీష్ ఉన్నాడా ఇక్కడ ఉన్నాడు
Ram, champion.
సాయిరామా హౌ డు వి ఫైండ్ దట్ అవుట్ రా ఇప్పుడు హౌ డు యూ వాంట్ మీ టు ఫైండ్ ఇట్ అవుట్
I don't know, Anas.
no by finding it out what do we accomplish say if I say it is just a way it's just a tactic to bring him to war
I guess
or uh,
I was just trying to understand, is there a Sattva aspect of it here, the way she's saying,
yes
right? So I couldn't understand that. So
yes now the interesting part of it here is like what Swati Iyer was asking before. She could have told him, "Arey, the only way you can win over me is with your love." She didn't do that. Yes. Why didn't she say, "Oh, because why didn't she say that? Why didn't she propose that? Yes, I am willing if they would offer their pure love to me, then I am willing. But instead she said they have to defeat me in the war. Why did she propose that versus the other?
Because she knew their nature.
Huh?
Because
Nobody
she
wants to
knew their
answer?
nature.
Oh, Sudhakar can't hear.
Sorry, because she knew their nature,
Ca-
their attitude
వినపడట్లేదు
and nature.
Because she wanted to kill them. So
because
she said, "You have to defeat me."
because she wanted to kill them is not the no. She didn't want she that's not right. So I don't think that is the reason. What is the spiritual significance of it? Because she knows that their mindset is about accumulating objects and they are looking at her as very clearly it is stated the best of all classes, the best of elephant is with them, the best of ratnas are with them, the best of this is with them. So you are also the best of women in truth, therefore the best of womankind should belong to us. Yes, that is the proposition. If the proposition is that I have to be acquired as an object, you have to come and get the object. Come and get me. That's so. Whether she did it, what she's playing is she's playing 100% in their awareness, not 100% in her awareness. You understand what is the difference between the two? If you look at the entire plot, Shuddha Sattvic or Shuddha Rajasic, the Shuddha Rajasic aspect of Mahalakshmi is that 100% she was Rajasic. And she was so Rajasic that only Rajas can take over Rajas. Only Shuddha Sattva can take over Shuddha Sattva. Only a diamond can cut a diamond. Nothing else can cut a diamond. So therefore, she is playing 100% in their awareness. Their awareness is that she is an object, best in class. They said, we acknowledge that you are best in the class and you are, that is the truth, but you should come and be with us because everything that is best in class belong to us. So for something to belong to you, you must come and get it. Therefore, she says, take my hand, not in marriage. Huh? Panim Gruhnath, even though that is translated like that, if you think I'm an object, come, take my hand, and take me with you. And for that, you need to defeat me. Yes, it is real, Ra. It is real. She will never speak the untruth. And the reality that she spoke is in our awareness. Know that God will always speak in your awareness first. Venkat Gangisetti, mute lo betrare.
So, so Anna,
One
that
second, one
brings.
second, one second,
Ah,
one second. So, for example, if you go to Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba and you say, Swami, we are all Westerners, this Veda stuff is too complex for us, we can't be chanting all these Vedas. What do you think we should do? What do you think is Swami's reply? He will say, yes, Bangaru, no need to chant Vedas. Just chant Om Sri Sai Ram. That is enough. That's what he will say. 100% that's what he will say. And that's what he said. But if you go to Swami, Swami, you said Vedas are for all human beings, that your avatar is for Vedodharana. Please bless me and grace me that I am able to live in the awareness of the Vedas and understanding the true meaning of it and make it practical life for myself. Chala santosham Bangaru. Very happy. I am blessing. What do you want from me? Swami, I want your blessing. Dandiga undi Bangaru. He will put the hand, he'll say, it is with you. In what, whose awareness is speaking? The first awareness is, I cannot do it. Therefore, the love will say, please do not bother. Do it the way you want to do it. Do it simple. No need to chant Vedas. The second is, I want to do it. It is your, with your blessing I can do it. It's your grace that enables me to do it. Santosham, happily, he will bless you with that. Is he doing it real or unreal? Is God playing games with people? Is God, why did he give two answers to two people? Why did he give two different answers to two people?
understanding their awareness.
Depending on their awareness and their readiness. And their readiness. If you are not ready, he will not push you. He is Maryada Purushottam, ultimate love. It has, whether you chant Vedas or you don't chant Vedas, it is nothing to do with him. He is happy, he is pure, he is unsullied, he is Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Nirmala Swarupinam. You understand this? In fact, he told me once in a dream, సెంటర్లో వేదం చదవద్దు పోయి బయట చదువు. Take the message of Vedas to the whole world, not to Sai centers, especially in the United States. They are not ready. When they are ready, it will happen. Until then, this is your path. You have to be the instrument to radiate the message of human values independent of religion to all the devotees that are ready to receive it. No need to push on anybody. When they are not ready, it won't happen. And that's what Happens. Okay, Sairam. Is she real or unreal? Is now go back. Is your question answered?
Yeah, yes, Anna. So she's in their awareness, and you know, so it's real. I guess what she's saying, and in their awareness is what she's trying to.
Yes. Therefore, if a devotee is worshipping him with 100% tamasic nature, God will be the tamas and bless them. If a devotee is completely rajasic, God will be that rajas, either to defeat them or to grace them. If the other person is 100% close to that sattva, in that awareness only divinity operates. And that is actually the truth. Okay, Sairam. Okay, somebody else was,
Yeah. Yeah.
yes,
So what I was thinking is, isn't our awareness also moves from one guna, because since it is a spectrum, as you explained. So given a situation, right, uh, how do we even, from which point of awareness we need to operate itself becomes a, should we take a strategy like how Devi did for Shumba, or how to respond to a situation? Should we, is, and in fact, goes back to Sister Srividya's question as well, as to fight or not fight, that confusion.
yes,
So, I think we need to analyze the situation first, whether from what standpoint of awareness we need to respond itself. Is
correct.
that correct?
Beautiful. Yes, that's right. You want to understand the intent first, and then integrity, and then skills, and then results.
Right. Thank you.
Sairam.
Sarah.
Okay.
And you also kindly, I had the same question, but you answered it very well. That when Chandamunda and Sugriva, they meet up with Devi, or like that awareness, how is it that it was not possible for them to be merged with that awareness, but they still had to, they drag themselves down again, and not be in that state of pure sattvic awareness with Devi.
Hmm. Yeah. Are you asking a question, Ma, or are you saying,
Yeah, you kind of
yeah?
answered in
See,
the way that
yes,
in
yes.
that awareness.
The blessing, the grace will come only in the context of your preparedness. That is what we are talking about. Okay, the preparedness of the mind, and they, based on that, the grace will come in an equal awareness. That's the question. That's the okay. Kotu, did you raise your hand, or was that a mistake?
Yes, and one quick question.
Uh,
I'm just trying to relate this story to the real life. So is asking something beyond our needs. Is that a confiscation?
beyond our needs, the greed, you mean?
Yeah, anything beyond our need.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you some as something beyond your need, it's called greed, right? Are
Yeah,
we good on the
yeah.
definition? So the question is it okay to be greedy in front of God? Is that the question?
No, your awareness tells that it's beyond, whatever you want.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
yes. So what's the question?
No question. It's the same thing happening here, right? Here, there's Sumbani Sumbas. They're confiscating things what they really don't need to have. I mean,
Yeah, there.
whatever best they see, they're going for it. The mind is
It's
also
not.
using it.
Yeah, it is not. So that state of mind is of acquisition doesn't calibrate to the need or anything like that, right? If it did, then it won't be. And also not only that, it has this false identification that everything should be mine and everything is mine, right? Everything is
Yeah.
mine and everything is an object of mine. That is what it is. I don't know if I caught your question, but that's so there is no calibration. If there is calibration, then they will be equipoised. The story doesn't even occur, right? Yeah. Excuse me. Okay, good. We are good for today. Sairam, and tomorrow, not tomorrow, today, tomorrow here in India, but today evening in California, we'll have the Mahanyasam class. And thank you all for joining and staying through half an hour extra. Jai Sai Ram. ॐ यदक्षरपदभ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं तु यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देव नारायण नमोऽस्तु ते विसर्गबिन्दुमात्राणि पदपादाक्षराणि च न्यूनानि चातिरिक्तानि क्षमस्व साईश्वर अपराधसहस्राणि क्रियन्ते हर्निशं मया दासोऽयमिति मां मत्वा क्षमस्व साईश्वर अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष रक्ष साईश्वर हरिः ओं तत्सत् श्री साईश्वरार्पणमस्तु स्वस्तिः प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्ताम् न्यायेण मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. So Sairama Kotu. While I was chanting the Shama Prarthana, what it occurred to me is, if you observe in the real life, it's the rich people that are the most greedy. It's the pundits that are most greedy for name and fame. A successful musician for whom music is a success always wants to pursue that route and want to become more and more and more in that angle only, because that quest for satisfying the so-called ego I is never ending, and it is a constant quest of accumulating more and more. The richest people in the world are the most miserable, meaning not miserable in a miserable, mizy, my, how do I, they are the
Miserly.
misers. They are the
Miserly.
miser. Huh? Just go observe it. It doesn't even come to them to give in charity without any expectation back. But I know this as a practical experience. The people that are really down to earth, they spontaneously give. They spontaneously, without expectation, they spontaneously participate with so much love for Bhagwan. The richest people are the most greediest people, because they want to keep everything, they never want to share everything. That is what my observation is. And that's the reason they become more and more rich. Once you get the taste of fame and a name, it is a never ending quest. If the guy is called, do not called for a function, they go into depression. They are waiting eagerly who will call them for functions, without which they cannot, and they have to have some activity to keep them busy. So they will put their names on everything. All this atrocious thing that happen in the relative world. We all think that, are such a rich man, what is the need for him to be doing this? That is the trap. Success in one area, the same thing happens, and you will never be content with it. Okay. Now, question, practical question. Do we have class next Saturday? Yes. Mahashivratri we'll start the sadhana at 6 a.m. California time. 7 o'clock we'll have Devi Matyam. And then this month's Parayana, Devi Matya Parayana is on February. ఎప్పుడు అనుకున్నాం కోట్ గారు?
March 2nd.
Okay. So
I
the
think March
schedule for,
30th.
yeah, the schedule for it is published on the Atirudram, sorry, if you go to Charm
Ma-
page, can you paste the
March
link here,
15th.
sir?
Yes, I put it.
March 5th. Yeah, I will be sending an email about sadhana kickoff, practices kickoff for Devi Matyam for different groups, etc., etc. So stay tuned, and we will have the class on Mahashivratri. and maybe not the day after Mahashivratri, because the Shivratri bhajan is until 6 o'clock, and it won't be practical to have the class on Sunday. Next Sunday we won't have, but Saturday we'll have the class. Jai Sai Ram.
Yeah, I put the
Oh,
link there. I put the link
okay.
in the chat.
Everyone can actually see a link from Kotu, and
Yes.
if you click on it, they have done a fabulous job in put Kotu and Jagan have done a very good job in putting everything for charm on one page, including sadhanas, Zoom links, FAQs. Everything is on one page. Learning resources, Devi Matyam schedule, everything is there. I'll be sending out to people in the next couple of days, but all the information is there. Jai Sairam. So we'll close with Shantis. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की
Jai